What's up guys, it's Lord Nino. It's a good day when FNAF uploads a new theory. I'm not beating around to any bush because I like FNAF's theories and I watch all of his theories, and it looks like he might watch some of my reactions to his theories, so let's go.
In this video, I'm going to be sharing my first ever theory about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Let's get started. I think Scott did a good job
the quintuple we all needed
of the FNAF movie feel familiar, but also not at the same time. And
yeah, it's mostly it's like
storylines and themes from the books and the games.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with like the whole Mike thing.
William Afton, but his daughter is not Elizabeth; it's Vanessa from Security Breach. And we've got
I hate that
he's not the same Mike that we see in the games.
Okay, I need to make this clear. Some people are saying like, wait, why is she called Vanessa? Is that Vanessa from Security Breach? Like, guys, the FNAF movie isn't canon. Nor is it really like the books where it like helps solve the lore in most sections, except for like maybe some things. But like the FNAF movie, it has its own lore. You don't need to worry about that.
Him being an Afton, he's Mike Schmidt from the Paycheck in FNAF 1. We've also got the Ella doll from the Silver Eyes trilogy and Fazbear Frights, but now it's a big Springlock suit. There's a little bit of everything, but it's all recontextualized. So
yeah,
let's try to make some sense of it. Let's get the basics of the story out of the way. The story of the movie seems to be the most similar to the Silver Eyes trilogy.
Yeah, I didn't know that until after the movie.
William is able to control the spirits of the kids after he murders them. He's able to
I thought the Ella Springlock was the 1:35 a.m. because I didn't read any of the books.
Golden Bunny, William Afton, as a friend, and this is also what we see in the movie. William is able to control the spirits of the dead kids inside the animatronics, and Abby is able to remind the kids about what William did to them through the drawing. This is exactly what happens.
The drawings.
After the kids remember what William did to them,
it's literally drawing. Oh my god!
But although the
I didn't see the movie, like I didn't read any of it, so this isn't new to me.
There are some notable differences. Like for example, one of the biggest characters in the whole franchise is missing in the movie, and that's Henry Emily.
Yeah, like I don't remember William Afton, and like I know I didn't read the books, but I don't remember anyone saying that William Afton said, "First I raised your brother, now I raise you, skibbity, my friend." Like I don't remember that anywhere. I also don't remember him saying, "Look at the Sigmas you've become. You are woke among sussy soy jacks. I gave you Gyats in Ohio." Like I don't remember any of that.
In every adaptation of the FNAF story, whether that be the books or the games, William's business partner Henry is always present. And
always there. He always comes back.
Try and figure out where Henry is in the movie.
A lot of people are saying he's Mike's dad. I know.
You know that Henry's storyline in those books is way different than it is in the games. In the games, Henry lives a pretty long life and ends up burning everything to the ground in FNAF 6. But in the books,
ending.
That's not the case. In the Silver Eyes trilogy, William Afton kidnaps Henry's daughter Charlie, and shortly after that happens, Henry's wife leaves him, and then he ends his own life. And there's one character in the movie that fits almost perfectly with that description. Mike's dad. In the movie, Mike's brother Garrett gets kidnapped
it's
by
even more evidence.
Afton, just like how William Afton kidnapped
and like in the training video, it looks like Henry.
Mike
yeah, I know.
Later in the movie that shortly after Garrett was kidnapped, his mom died. And then Mike implies that after that, his dad ended his own life. Or at least he left the family. This is very similar to what Henry goes through in the Silver Eyes trilogy. And after
what if he left to go work at Freddy's?
I was convinced
that'd be pretty interesting.
Mike's dad was probably Henry. I mean, Henry was the one that created the main 4 animatronics, and you can see someone who looks very similar to Mike's dad
there's the picture.
But this
Get
was
it over with.
revealed to not be the same actor as Mike's dad.
Wait,
this
what?
is actually someone who worked at Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Oh,
the animatronics for the movie.
That's pretty
but
cool.
That doesn't mean that Scott wasn't aware of the visual similarities between these two guys. Mike's dad being Henry would also make Garrett's kidnapping make a lot more sense. We know that Garrett was kidnapped while the Schmidts were on a camping trip in Nebraska, and the chances that William Afton was also on a camping trip in Nebraska and just so happened to bump into Garrett is very low. William needs a reason
very
to
rare
be
chance
to kidnap Garrett.
The new rare screen
if Garrett
for the FNAF movie.
Kid, that would give William a lot more motive to kidnap him and make it less random. Mike's dad being Henry works so well, but there are some big issues. Mike and Abby had no idea what Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was before Mike got the job there. If their dad's job and life's work was the animatronics,
I heard that. Like,
they would
doesn't make sense.
Know of its existence. The only way I can see it working is if Mike's dad kept his work a secret from his kids.
But
if
why?
That is the case,
like,
I
why?
can see the next 2
is it a bad job?
Mike and Abby slowly discovering their dad's secret life. So
that'd be pretty dope movie storyline.
If what I said ends up being true and Mike's dad kept his work a secret from his kids, then probably. But that's really the only way it can work. But
yeah, like it's weird. Just because of that, I don't think that it's Henry, because like, why would you keep your job secret unless it's like a really bad job? You shouldn't be working it. You probably make a lot of money from it. and it's just all one big secret. Like that, you probably wouldn't want to do that to your kids. Like, especially as a kid, I wouldn't want that happening.
Even bigger mystery for me is what the heck is up with Vanessa. In the
I
movie,
can't with that
Vanessa
goddamn
ends up
image.
being William Afton's daughter, and upon first viewing, you might think this is way different from the games.
Way
But if
different.
you pay attention to Vanessa in the games, they're kind of the same character.
20-year-old security guard advertisement. I heard it all. They're both 20-year-olds working, like in their 20s. They're working as security guards. They have blonde hair. They have some correlation to William Afton. I heard all the theories. I don't know. I don't think it's true.
We learned in FNAF AR that Vanessa's last name starts with an A. Vanessa A.
Vanessa Afton.
Also,
Yeah.
in Vanessa's therapy tapes and Security Breach, we learn that she has a dad named Bill.
Bill is short for William.
And if
Yeah.
Vanessa's last name starts with an A, that would mean her dad's name
Is William Afton.
A. We also
Yeah.
learned that Vanessa's dad in the games is very abusive and manipulative. Vanessa's dad,
Just
Bill,
like-
in the games, was able to make Vanessa make her mom look bad in court. He did
Ooh,
this
just
so he
like
could
the movie. Oh, it's coming in my brain now.
Custody battle between your mum and your dad. He used to make your mum look bad in court. I suppose I don't need you to tell me it felt bad to have a parent scare you into saying things that weren't true. He manipulated you. It wasn't your fault.
And now
Yeah,
in the
that's
movie,
just
we
like
have
William in the movie.
Afton, who seems to have some sort of manipulative control over Vanessa. Never mind the visual similarities between Vanessa in the movie and
Shut up.
Vanessa in the games. Now, do I think that the movie and the games take place in the same context?
Oh no, I hope not.
No. I just
Scott,
think
come
that
on.
These connections are worth calling out since we have no idea why Vanessa seems to be William Afton's daughter in the games. Let's talk about Aunt Jane. Aunt Jane is probably the most
Taking
random
custody.
character in the movie. She
Yeah.
kind of comes into the story, tries to take custody of Abby, and then dies. And
Hey guys, I know this is completely unrelated, but I just wanna plug in my recent theory about Glamrock Bonnie. I just made it. I was working on it for like a month, maybe a little more than that. It's only like 7.5 minutes. I might leave an iCard up here, and if there isn't, I'll include it in the description. Go watch it. I think it's valid and it's a good theory. Please, thank you.
in the movie. She kind of comes into the story, tries to take custody of Abby, and then dies. And that's it. She actually shares a similar name
I hate
to
Aunt Jane so
Jen,
much.
Charlie's aunt from the
I actually
Silverhand
hope.
trilogy.
I
But as
was
far as
so happy when she died. I was like,
similarities
let's go!
between Aunt Jane and Aunt Jen, there really isn't any. If I really had to throw something out there, I would say that Aunt Jane could be related to William Afton or
I hate that. I don't want to picture
We learn
that.
in the games that Vanessa's parents are divorced, and that could be the case for Aunt Jane and William Afton. Also, Aunt Jane and Vanessa do both have blonde hair with brunette roots and kind of look similar, so I could see her being Vanessa's mom.
Imagine in like FNAF 2 or 3 when Mike's like, wait, I'm related to Vanessa? Since when? That'd be a pretty goofy twist, to be honest. That wouldn't even be like an, oh my god! It would just be like a, what the hell?
At least related to Vanessa. This would then make William Afton Mike's uncle, which could explain why Garrett doesn't look scared whatsoever when he's being kidnapped. It could be because William wasn't a stranger to Garrett. And if William is Mike's uncle and Mike's dad is Henry, that would make Freddy's a family business.
Or maybe he's just a stupid kid? How old is he? Like 5, maybe 6? He's gotta be less than 6.
Which could be an interesting storyline, but we once again have some problems. If William Afton is Mike's uncle, why doesn't Mike know who William is? Overall, I'm not ruling out anything. I just refuse to believe that Aunt Jane was a one-off character to give the people who broke into Freddy's some motive. Later on in the movie, when Abby's about to be put in a Springlock suit, that
Ella.
Springlock suit
Yeah.
is a giant version of the Ella doll from the Silver Eyes trilogy.
I thought it was
in
1:35
Fazbear
a.m.
Frights books. And like a lot of things in this video, it's hard not to say something that's already been said. This could easily be the movie's version of Baby, but it also could just be an Easter egg for the book fans.
It's probably just an Easter egg for the book fans.
Realistically, the Ella animatronic, Sparky, and Shadow Freddy all fall under the same category. There really isn't
Easter
a
eggs.
pizzeria that would make sense for them to belong to. They could be from Circus Baby's Pizza World, but none of them really scream circus to me. I could see
None
the
of them.
Ella animatronic being three things. Either just an Easter egg, the
Yeah.
movie's version of Baby,
No.
or the movie's version of the Ella doll from the Silver Eyes trilogy.
More
In
likely.
Silver Eyes, Henry was able to recreate recreate his daughter in robot form through using the Ella doll. So this animatronic could be some experiment by William to try and do something similar. I don't know. And finally, let's talk about the puppet's music box being played in the credits and Come Find Me. Well, since the director of the movie said that the second movie is following the second game, I'm assuming we'll see the puppet in the sequel. And if Garrett...
Yeah, I remember back in like maybe May or April we got actors for the marionette. I guess that just didn't happen.
Really is filling the role of Charlie as William's first victim.
Garrett
is probably the puppet. But if Garrett more so fills the role of the crying child, then that would mean he's the second spirit inside Golden Freddy. And
no, he's the puppet.
The drawing of the
I believe everyone else sees the puppet for sure.
In the movie, you can see that Cassidy's face wasn't originally drawn in the picture. You can see that Cassidy's head was glued on top of another kid's head.
Wait, where do you see that? That's just a drawing. Why don't I see that? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe you're overthinking it. But also you're FNAF, so I don't think you're overthinking it.
The picture, you can see that Cassidy's head was glued on top of another kid's head, which could easily be Garrett. And if Garrett isn't the puppet, then the puppet must be someone we weren't introduced to yet. Theorizing about this movie really does feel like the early days of FNAF. Saying
we don't know
Garrett
enough.
Is the puppet feels just like saying Purple Guy is Phone Guy. Back then,
it's just what we have.
Anything to go off of, so it just kind of felt right. And
yeah, this is new for me because like I'm not an OG fan, so
our belts featuring basically a brand new version of FNAF's story. It feels like we're trying to solve a 100-piece puzzle with only 10 pieces. So I apologize if this video felt a little bit scattered, but honestly, that's how my brain felt when writing it. I'm just super excited to know more about the story that Scott and Blumhouse are trying to tell.
Me too,
really
bro.
We get more movies.
Movie was
Subscribe
so good.
If you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.
Bro, way ahead of you. So like he said, that was a very scattered theory. What can I take away from that? So Garrett is probably going Freddy. I still think he's the puppet. William Afton might be Mike's uncle, and that's why Garrett isn't scared. Or maybe he's just a stupid kid, you know. That's also very likely. Vanessa and Vanessa are very similar. Yeah, that's it. This theory, I don't have much to say on it. There was no oh my god moment because he was just trying to throw out opinions. It's like, I don't think he was trying to convince me on anything. I think he was just like, okay, I have these ideas to throw out at you. Try to do something with them. I made a video on what could be in the second FNAF movie. I think that Garrett will be the puppet, just because, like, I originally thought that Abby would be the puppet because she can influence the animatronics and stuff, but then I realized that they just freaking love pictures. I'm not very sure what people are saying why Garrett could be the puppet, except for that he's the first victim of Afton, and the first victim of Afton in the games goes on to be the puppet. Kind of shocked he didn't talk about the whole thing with Max and Shadow Freddy. That's a very big thing going on because, like, Kat, I think her name is Kat, she keeps posting about Shadow Freddy. Like, shut up. I want more FNAF theories, especially on Ruin. There's still a lot of unanswered questions about Ruin that I need answered. Like, why does Roxy come back to life after we deactivate her? Like, what's going on with that? FNAF movie's cool and all, but it's like you said, it's like the early days, trying to solve a 100-piece puzzle with 10 pieces. We need the rest of, like, at least 40 more pieces to try to piece together this puzzle. So it's like, maybe we could chill on it just a little bit. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Just a short reaction to FNAF's theory, because he's a mastermind. And yeah, with that, thank you all so much for watching. Dislike the video as much as humanly possible, and I will see you in the next one. Doodaloo.